I honestly wasn't going to make a video about Shang-Chi, mostly because I'm working on another project right now, which hopefully you'll see soon, but I also didn't want to become yet another superhero movie channel immediately. But after I drove nearly 2 hours at night to watch it with my friends, then having the drive home to think about it, not getting home until 5 in the morning, then watching it again in IMAX a week later, yeah, I needed to talk about it. I advertised the hell out of this movie on Twitter and talked about it with my friends, not because I thought this movie was going to be the best thing ever, but because Disney barely even talked about it, and Simu Liu he's just the best. So I walked in with the expectation of, well, at least I'm gonna have fun. And I did. But personally, I walked out with just a little bit more than that. So, let's talk about Shang-Chi.
Oh, you can turn it up? Yeah, you can hear me.
Oh, damn it. This script is just me rambling, isn't it? Alright, I guess I'll start with how I talked about the Suicide Squad video. Go check it out, please. I'll talk about the characters. And I apologize now if I pronounce any names wrong. I am sorry. Simu Liu as Shang-Chi is wonderful. 1, because he himself is made of pure joy and kindness. And 2, because he kicked this movie's ass with how good he was in it. He made me believe that he was a former borderline assassin just trying to live a normal life, and when that ultimately fell off, he made me believe that he was going to a dark place trying to fight his inner demons. Am I looking too deep into this? Yes, but also, pay attention to when certain flashbacks kick in and how he reacts to them in the present time, thinking about them. The way Simu plays this throughout the movie is genuinely powerful, and when he screams at his dad,
"Is this what you wanted?"
to see his dad's reaction shortly after actually hurt me. With that, I'll transition to Wenwu. Tony Leung, who's been killing it for ages now, kills it again as Wenwu. Not once did I see him as the bad guy, but as a father who just wanted to be with his family. Did he do awful things? Yes, but did he come off as the worst person to ever exist? No. To me, he's the version of how Kingpin saw himself as. A caring person who wants what's best for everyone, but will ultimately help himself to get what he wants. But the way that he carried himself with such confidence and certainty, you couldn't help but almost root for him. Okay, so Xialing is the perfect representation of held back girl power I think I've ever seen. Meng'er Shang, I'm completely sorry for the butchering of any of these, again, sorry.
I'm also sorry that there's barely any fucking footage of her.
She crushed this performance, and in case you didn't know, this is also her first performance. Go to her IMDb or Letterboxd and you'll only see this movie. It's fucking insane. So to have that in mind while watching it and seeing her acting and stunt skills,
can I get a queen in the chat, please?
But seriously, her character might actually be my favorite here. The way that she was pushed down as a kid and hidden away just to rise and grind her way to the top and owning her own fighting ring while also competing in it to really assert her dominance is just all kinds of badass. But she's not invulnerable either. She still doubts and thinks less of herself because of how she was, and in heavy quotations here, raised. It's in the little moments for me. Not just with her, but with Shang and Wenwu as well. Also, Awkwafina was pretty good. I have no experience with her besides knowing her name and that she's a comedian. That's all I knew about her, sorry. Alright, moving on from characters, or else I'm gonna get spoilery. The standouts to me filmmaking-wise were the cinematography, action, and music. Once I read that Bill Pope was going to be the cinematographer, I knew for a fact that at least this movie was going to look good. He's been involved with so many of my favorite movies, so I had no doubt about it, and damn did it look good. You don't really need me to tell you that also, just go watch the trailers, this shit is visually appealing. Sure, the spice is toned down compared to his other works, but the flavor is still there. And the action speaks for itself. Okay, I've only seen a few Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee films in my lifetime, but they were enough to see the inspiration. The one-shots and clear, clean framing had my heart already, but the choreography just took my soul. The sheer amount of work put into this is nothing to just brush aside. You could tell that everyone wanted to put in that work, and it shows. Also, music is the one thing that I can appreciate but never really put into words, so just know that both the score and the soundtrack kick hard. Okay, now let's get into the meat of Shang-Chi and why I personally could attach to it and how hopefully you did too. There were two main messages being told here, one a bit more obvious than the other, but oh well. Finding your place in the world and not letting your past define you. Both of these have a huge presence to me, especially right now in my life. I'm in my early 20s. I just moved back into my parents' house after a year of living with my friends, a state away, hoping to find my niche, my reason, my purpose. Coming back only to be exactly where I started. So to see Shang in such a similar position, I could immediately relate to that. I can also relate to not letting your past define you. I too have family issues, and not just with my parents. Turns out, my family tree not only has rotten roots that are hidden away, but also have beautiful leaves that everyone loves. And seeing Shang also struggle with that, his dad's evil, selfish tendencies and his mom's graceful, beautiful nature. He's on this double weight scale just waiting to be tiered to one side or the other.
You are a product of all who came before you.
He has to fight these mental and emotional things, and seeing that in a Marvel movie of all places is incredible. That is why I think this is the best solo movie since Guardians 2. Not just because I have a personal attachment to it, but because it's not afraid to even think about these topics. And not treat it like a joke either, might I add. When I saw Shang sitting by the lake pondering whether or not he had to kill his own father, it choked me up a bit. This movie is about inner turmoil and facing your past demons. They handled it so well that if you weren't paying attention, you wouldn't even notice. And I love that kind of storytelling, the show don't tell method. Having your actors act and not having it in the script to tell the audience explicitly, they have depression. It's always great. And when they do tell you, it's written so well that you can't help but feel something from it. Shang-Chi is in my top 5 MCU movies. I loved it and I would happily watch it again. But hey, it's just my opinion. If you walked away thinking, that was alright, or well, that was bad, that's valid too. There's plenty to dislike here. But at least the entire movie didn't get ruined by its third act. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Follow my other socials like Twitter and Twitch and TikTok and everything else that starts with a fucking T. Okay, bye.